Okay, it's my turn. Can I have notes? I wrote something. Okay, first, thank you so much, Isabel, Kyle, for giving me this opportunity to exhibit here. I also believe that all things work together for good, and there's no coincidence. There's a purpose why I am here. I'd like to thank Gisela for connecting me with Sir Jomar with the NYLI and making this event possible, as well as Kate, who Kate and her brothers. They're the one who helped me market the paintings and prepare everything. Daniel, thank you for your support. And everyone here, thank you so much for your presence. So whenever I travel, it is my practice as an artist to make a mark on the place where I will go. And upon booking this ticket, I think I booked this around December. I thought, I started to search for a gallery where I can hang just one painting. As mentioned by Isabel earlier, I was just looking after hanging one painting. Because for us, it's making a mark of a place where we go. But they are so generous that they allowed me to have a solo show. So this is my second solo show. And Abstract Art Cafe was the only art center that I found online. I think there's a purpose also. There's a lot of galleries here that I'm seeing, but it's the only art cafe that I saw. And God is so good. Isabel, thank you for being so accommodating to me. You have offered me a solo exhibit here. It's indeed God's blessing. And I have 2 months to prepare for a solo show. During my first solo show, I know how stressful it is. It's work intensive. But most of all, we need to think of what's the message we will send to the audience. And we want, as an artist, it is our duty that our artwork will speak something, and hoping that it will be worthwhile. And so when an artist prepares for an exhibit, she needs to think of a message. And for a lot of weeks, I have been praying, what will be my message? But one thing that I thought of, okay, the artworks that I'm gonna make cannot be big because I have to transport it. And I usually make big paintings, like life-size paintings, like mural size. But this one is quite difficult for me because I'm not used to making small paintings. Ironic, right? So I decided on the size of the painting, as well as I decided on how many pieces will I be showcasing. So when I'm gonna tell you about the process, my creative process. When an artist creates an artwork, it's not necessary that we have a title for the painting. And sometimes it comes after we create the artwork. Sometimes it comes before, we have an inspiration, but sometimes we don't have it and we'll just be meeting the artwork after it's finished. It's like meeting a new person. So in my case, I don't always know what I'm painting, not until I'm done painting. That's my creative process. For the course of my art career, I have always been fascinated with God's creation. The theme of this artwork is particularly the beginning, the middle, and the end of the day. So look at it, you can see skies. I am talking about the sky. Living in the city, I'm from Manila, from Mandaluyong. We don't always have the luxury to look at the beaches or beautiful parks. All you see is building. But we will always have the sky. You can always see the midday, the sunset, and the sunrise. So I'm a person who loves watching the sky, the breaking of the dawn, the blue midday, the warm colors of the ending sunsets. That's a pleasure for me to watch. And so I thought, okay, let that be the picture of my show. What anyone can look at, what anyone can remember any time of the day. The beauty is up there. It's God's creation. And so I asked my friends to send me photos of their favorite sunsets, sunrise, any photos that shows the sky. And from that, I have collected and selected my favorites. And so the features here are different pictures from the Philippines and all over the world. But I have some special artworks there where I just saw in my head, like mixing colors and then just seeing it while I applied the acrylic on the canvas. I mixed colors and I imagined it as the sky. For the medium that I use, which is important to know, I use acrylic, and the circle that you see there is a gold film. So I made everything within 4 hours. It's just one day. I thought, okay, let's make all of the paintings, these 10 pieces in one day. I made it all at home, and upon completing everything, I still felt like there was something missing. So I draw the landscape first. I painted, but I thought, something's missing. There must be a focal point to my painting. That is why you can see the gold film there. This is what pulls everything together. So if you observe the artwork, if you look at the circle, it pulls everything together. Now, you cannot imagine it without the gold film. I challenge you. Now I thought of, how do I name my artworks? It's God's creation. You know, it's just amazing how God arranges everything to fall together in its own place. When I made these pieces, I am clueless of what will be the result. I call it creating an artwork, and when it's finished, meeting a new person. And thank you so much again, Josella, for connecting me with NYLI. I know that we will be helping a charity, but what surprised me is the people who will help, the traumatized children. It's just God's grace that happened. So the cause is for the children who are abused. And I thought to myself, as I learned this on Monday, it is like a full circle. I'm one of those abused children. And look at where God brought us now. I'm helping them. We are helping them. I came from the small town of Alaminos, Laguna, and I grew up in a poor family of 11 siblings. And my father is a farmer, and my mother is a teacher. Poverty deprives us of many things like quality of life, quality time from our parents, and sometimes protection from them. I had some traumatic experiences as a kid, and I had to heal through art and therapy. As Sir Jomar said, I am going through therapy now. And it helps me. Art helps me. I'm also doing art. Art is my therapy. So I commissioned hundreds of artworks, but this one is so special for me because I made it out of my heart. Now, how is this related to the theme of the exhibit, which is identities? As human beings, we have the tendency to label ourselves based from certain experiences, right? For example, we may have experience of being rejected as a kid by our parents, and this may create a mindset in us that we are unqualified, we are unloved, or we are unaccepted. And even we say no to this mindset, having traumatic experience remains in our body. So it's our body which remembers the experience. And sometimes, most of the time, if we encounter the same situation, it's not our mind who's responding, but how our body remembers the situation. That's why we are responding like that. Positive thinking helps. Therapy helps. But it can only go so far. Thank God that He gave us Christ, who made us into a new creation. The old is gone, and the new has come. That is the hope that Jesus Christ provided us, gave us. And that is why the title of my exhibit is Identities. I want this exhibit to be a reminder that you are not defined by your experience, especially your ugly past, or your failures, or your incapabilities, or what happened to you. These things has been crucified on the cross too. It is not also what you achieved or the things that you dearly hold on to, or your possessions, your treasures. Those things fade away. I want to remind you that through this theme, identities, of who you are in Christ. That's why the title of my artworks are My Identities, or the identities we should identify for what Christ did for us. So just like an artist who has the right to name the artwork, it is our Creator who has the right to identify us, to name us, to define who we are. And our identity is unshaken in Christ Jesus. So next time you hear yourself having that negative self-talk, I want you to remind of this. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. As you look at the paintings, I want you to take your time to let God speak to your heart. Remind yourself of who you are. Put that in your heart. I want you to be reminded of that identity as you look at the sky. So every time you find yourself telling something negative, look at the sky. Our identity is in Christ. The sky is always there, just as God is always there. Your identity is in Christ. I am Criselda Manalo. I am a Christian artist. I am loved with an everlasting love, and my identity is in Christ. Thank you. Yun na po yun. We'll proceed to the ribbon cutting.